Hello, and welcome back to the Chanel. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about the books I read over summer break, and like it's not like a review really, and there's not summaries because I cannot summarize to save my goddamn life. But it's yapping. It's just 8 sets of yapping till exhaustion. Um, These are the books that I read, and I'm going to be talking about them in the order that I read them as opposed to the order that they're arranged in. But isn't this like such an aesthetically pretty like kind of stack? Like she's giving. What is she giving? But yeah. So I started with Gwen and Art Are Not in Love, and it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god. Like, it's a little bit cheesy in parts, which is to be expected because it is like to my understanding, it's a YA romance. So it's like, yeah, it would be a little cheesy. But it was so good. I loved it so much. I read it in like a day. And, it was so good. Like, I was up in the car and I was like, is doing what? She's who? Huh? It was great. I really like Bridget. Low-key kind of in love with Bridget. Like, because she's so cool. Like, all the characters are just really, really cool. Like, and they're well written in a way that's sort of like, I don't know, like, they were really relatable is what I'm getting at, essentially. Because it was bringing up, like, old, repressed homosexual feelings, and it's like, get back! Get back! I'm not a lesbian or a gay man. I'm in the middle of that, as you can see. But the point is that it was bringing up feelings from when I was in, like, 5th grade, because it was, like, very much that with Gwen, trying to figure out, like, oh my god, this is stuff that happens. I'm so bad at articulating, but, like, it's so good, and I made fan art for it. One piece. I would like to do more, but posing is hard, and, like, I would want it to be, like, cute, dynamic, coupley stuff. But yeah, really, really good. Would suggest, it was so good. And then, like, the ending, can I call it a plot twist? I guess I could. It was, like, so good. Like, I have autism, and so that makes me, like, pattern recognition, you know? And, like, I didn't see it coming. And I love when books have the ability to do that, because usually I'm like, okay, so this is what's going to happen, and it's going to be this and this and this. And then, if it doesn't wind up being what I predicted, it's like, okay, that doesn't make any sense, though. But with this, it did make enough sense that I was like, more. Anyway, I loved it. And then after I read First Comes Scandal, which is a Bridgerton prequel. Because I had watched season 1 and part of season 2, because I because I had a really big crush on the actress that plays Penelope, and I was like, oh, season 3 is her season. I gotta get caught up. I'm still not caught up. Anthony was making me mad, so I abandoned it. But anyway, so I was like, while I was mad at it, I was like, okay, but I still want to be, like, immersed. What can I do? Should I read the books? But then I was like, ugh, but I don't want to hear a word about Anthony. So I got the prequels. 2 of them. I didn't get the other ones. But yeah, no, this one's really good. I like, let me refresh on their names, because I remember Georgie. Okay, Nicholas. Georgie and Nicholas. Hello, cat. I really like them. It was very, like, it's very much a nothing really happens kind of book. But you know what? I feel like that's okay sometimes. I feel like that's allowed. My co-host. Anyway, can you sit, please, and be behaved so I can film? Thank you. It kind of felt like a slow burn, but I don't know if it really counts as a slow burn if they're already married. Like, and then, like, this is controversial, maybe, but I really actually liked the spice scenes, smut scenes, I don't know what you'd call it, because they were cute, and they felt, like, in character, because it's something I've noticed a lot with, like, movies and books and stuff, is that when they're trying to be, like, steamier, like, it just gets kind of out of character in an attempt to make it, like, appealing, and it's like, ugh, I hate it. There's nothing I hate in quite the same way. Okay, you're not going to behave. I will lock you out next time. But, yeah, that was that. And, like, it was just so cute. It was just so cute, and I appreciated the lack of drama, because it just felt very, very nice. I love a book where nothing happens sometimes. It's good. And then I read this one. This one comes first in the series, actually, but I didn't bother to look before I picked up First Come Scandal. I was like, I'm in. This cover looks great. The back of the book looks fantastic. I'll read it. But then series salt. Forgive us. Anyway, this one. So essentially this girl, Poppy, we love Poppy Bridgerton. She's on something special. She goes out adventuring and she gets kidnapped by pirates. Essentially, right? And it's so good. Like, salt. I don't want to edit this video. I just want to do it in one take. So you guys are just going to have to see all of the cat that you guys see. Anyway, so it's like our buddy Captain Andrew James. He is so fine. Like, so fine. And they're just so cute together because it's very, like, they bounce off each other very nicely. I enjoy it. And I really, really liked, like, the epilogue. Is that what? No. Yes, epilogue. I really liked it. Like, the story about the stars and the baby and the it was good. It was good. And I like an adventurous gal. I love an adventurous gal in a historical setting. Like, I know that it's like so cliche at this point now, but it's like, I like it. It's good. It's a classic for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a classic trope for a reason. Enjoyed it. Would I recommend it? Probably not, just because most people I know, like, IRL, would not read this kind of thing. But it's, like, I deeply enjoyed it. I would recommend it to you guys, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And then the next one, 13th Night by Alan Gordon. I got it at a thrift store. I went to the flea market with my mommy, and they had, like, a cart of 25-cent books, and I was like, let me snoop in there. So snoop in there I did, obviously. I found this one, and I was like, oh, it's got the aesthetic of the cover is nice, so I'm just gonna pick it up. And then I read the back while we were, like, waiting in the checkout line, and I'm like, yeah. But then once I got home, I'm like, wait, this is fan fiction for Shakespeare that I have not watched or read. But I did, see I think it was a rom-com when I was a kid that was loosely based on that play. So I was like, okay, you know what? We'll pretend that it's the same. We'll pretend I know what's going on. But I feel like I didn't really need to know what's going on because they recapped. The Orsino guy, deceased, sad, very sad. And I was like, oh. It took me a minute to get through because, like, old-timey language, like, but it wasn't just old-timey language. It was, like, 80s or 90s does old-timey language. So it was really old-timey language for me. And it almost did me in at first. But then once it, like, about halfway through, it really, really got going. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get into it. Because it was like, whoosh, whoosh, you know? Like, I never knew what was going on until I did know what was going on. And then I was like, oh my god. Duh. And then, like, who Malvolio actually wound up being, wild. Absolutely wild. I did not see it coming. I did not see it. I'll say, I thought it was Viola. I thought it was her. I thought she killed her husband, but she didn't. And apparently there's a sequel. There's a sequel, I think. Hold on, let me double check. There's something adjacent to a sequel. Where are you? Yes, there is a sequel. Kind of. I say kind of. So now I have to find that because I like the Feste guy. Like, he's cool. He's funny. And he's like, I don't know. It was entertaining and I want another one is what I'm getting at. But it's like, this is like the 90s does medieval. So where am I going to find it? Not on Amazon. I haven't actually checked, but maybe not. Anyway, solid 8 out of 10. And then there was, like, one line from one of the characters that was, like, about the cathedral being built. And I just remembered this, like, because I wanted to talk about it, but I don't remember what I wanted to say about it. But it was, why did he do it? To buy his place in heaven after earning his place in hell? About, like, the guy who funded the cathedral being on the Crusades and doing really horrific things because it was the Crusades. And I was just like, I love when themes about guilt and greed and human failure, you know? And this had some of that. It had some of that. It was good. I first want to say any mispronunciations that I have with this, please, please, please treat me gently, okay? Because I was struggling. And I tried to look them up, but then I found that they can be pronounced differently depending on region or something like that. And I was like, oh no. But anyway, Red Iron Widow, because I really like the author. I'm not sure. I've heard they, them, and she, her used for. Anyway, I really like them. And the book was really, 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 really good. Oh my god. It very much did the whole critique on gender roles and classism, because y'all can pretend, but I really do feel like it kind of touches on classism a little bit. It did it well without feeling preachy. And then the romance aspect was really great, which is what I picked it up for, obviously. Because otherwise I would not have felt gravitated towards sci-fi. Because usually with sci-fi, I have the issue that I can't really envision, like, the setting and the important stuff. But luckily for me, I picked up a copy with concept art. So that helped a great deal. And what also helped was the fact that the writing is, like, listen, I'm not a connoisseur of classics. I'm not, like, I don't read critically. But it felt really immersive to me. Which doesn't mean that it will to you, is what I'm saying. It's like, don't take my words as anything serious, because it's just how I feel, you know? But I really, really loved it. I really loved it. It was so good. And then I made fan art for it, too. I like Sheetsy. Is that how you say his name? Sheetsy? I like him. I think he's my favorite, because he does kind of fall into the nerd category if we're going with, like, typical trio character tropes. But he's cool, too, you know? And I liked that the boys were also in love with each other, because in the very little bit of polyamory relationship that does exist, well, relationship media that does exist, it's very, the triangle don't really connect at the top. But this does, and it was great. And God, I have so many thoughts and no way to articulate. I might just have to make an entire video, like, essay style, talking about this. Because it's that good. And, oh God, I'm going to botch this name. Xiran? She was so badass. And I love, like, and she was intelligent and cool. And depending on how you look at it, disabled. Like, I don't know that her family would consider her disabled. But the general reader would. And it didn't take away from her being badass, which was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. Because she did spend a good chunk of the book in a wheelchair. For reasons that make sense. But she was still dope as fuck while she was doing all that. This was not coherent, and it didn't make sense this entire video, but I enjoyed it. And I loved this motherfucking book so much. And it's one of those books that now I liked it so much that hearing any critique of it feels like someone is taking a personal dig at me, which is not a healthy way to be. But I enjoyed it that much, you know? Okay, well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, night, morning, whatever. Be kind and keep yourself safe. I'll see you next time.